So yes, we're Star Academy. We're located at Miami Dade College on Wolfson campus. So I'll tell you a little bit about us. This is our beautiful logo. We are a Florida post-secondary comprehensive transition program. And pretty much what that means is we are on a grant and scholarship. So this program is funded by a grant and scholarship. Like Ms. Wolf said, it is free for participants. And these are programs that are all over the state, and they are at various colleges and universities, and they are aimed to help students with intellectual disabilities gain more access to post-secondary education programs. And the ultimate goal is employment. The ultimate goal is for the students to be able to gain the certification and the education needed to secure competitive employment in high-level positions for their field. So the goals of Star Academy are that the students will increase their academic, employment, and occupational skills. We really put an emphasis on independence. So soft skills are very important. Understanding work, understanding the workforce, understanding their place in the workforce, and how do they get there is important for us. So the students navigate the campus independently. They know where their classes are. They know their class schedule. These are all things that we help them get a better grasp on, because these are skills they're going to need further on as employees. And just as individuals, they'll need these skills to be more independent. Even coursework, they for the most part handle on their own. They know their deadlines, they know what's expected of them, and that all plays into the goal of independence for our students. The students do earn industry certifications relevant to their employment goals, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a couple slides. But the end game is employment, so those industry certifications are competitive. They are industry certifications that other professionals in the industry hold, and that employers are looking for when they're looking at resumes and looking for candidates. So, like I said, employment's our big goal. We do assist the students in finding internships and employment, and we partner with the employer to understand better how to assist that student. So we support the employer and the student through their internship, just so the transition is smooth. Eligibility for the program. Students must be 18 years of age or older. They have to have a high school diploma. A high school diploma with access points is okay, just a high school diploma. There must be documentation of an intellectual disability. And then we also ask for a psychological evaluation that can indicate to us their IQ. And that IQ is 75 or below to qualify for our program. The student must function independently without supervision. So, of course, activities of daily living, feeding, toileting, things like that, unless it's a different disability, another kind of disability that causes issues with that, they need to be able to do that independently. And then also be unattended or manage their own time for 3 consecutive hours. So while they're on campus, like I said, they understand their schedule, they understand that lunch is an hour, they return after lunch, things like that. What time classes start, the different rules that professors have about lateness, tardiness to class, all of that. The student must desire employment. That's a big one. The student really needs to want to work. That needs to be their end goal. And that's something that we talk to the students about quite frequently. What do you want to do? What's the kind of job you'd like to have? And we're always kind of reminding them and bringing them back to that employment piece. They need to be able to demonstrate basic mathematics and understand how to use a calculator. They need to be able to read and understand English at a third grade level or demonstrate practical reading and comprehension. This is a little overview of the program, more of a closer look at the different aspects. So we are a cohort style academy, which means that we only do admissions once a year. So we have a cohort every fall, a new cohort every fall. Proud to say that our very first cohort that entered in 2024 is finishing their program this summer, and they've done fabulously. We have students placed in internship at the Intercontinental in downtown Miami. We have students placed at the cafe here on campus. So we're very, very excited for them and the opportunities that they're going to be having. Very cool. So 10 to 15 students come in each fall and they stay together through their whole program. So for the 2 years that they are in Star Academy, they are with that cohort. They go to classes the first year together, things like that. And they do really get to know one another and help one another in different ways because everybody's strengths and weaknesses are different. And students pick up on that in one another and help each other. So the way we support our students, that's something that makes STAR super unique and great. STAR Academy staff are very involved with the students and helping support them. So we have 2 tutors that help the students in their different classes or whatever. Everything is always reinforced. So if the student attends a class, they will have time with a tutor to reinforce that knowledge, to reinforce what did we miss, what did we gain, what's the homework, what are our due dates, to kind of help them keep on track. And as the program goes on, that gets less and less intensive for the students. So they're given more and more independence. Their second year, they're in their classes for each track. And there's a lot of independence that comes with being in those classes. So while they have all these supports, we do emphasize that they learn independently. So they do get academic advising, tutoring, note taking, and then our tutors have other tools that help our students learn. So things that maybe a regular classroom wouldn't utilize, our tutors do. Visual aids, video aids, audio aids, things like that to help the students get the information in a lot of ways. So all of the classes are college credit. So if the student, after completing the Star Academy program, decides, I want to go for my associate degree, they can do that. They have college credits that'll work towards that. So these college credits work towards certifications, and listed are the certifications. So for the culinary students, they end up with a culinary arts management, operations certification, and the hospitality students end up with rooms division operation certification. Like I said, these are industry recognized certifications, and they are part of our plan for these students to gain competitive employment. That's something that really is a big piece of that, is those certifications. We do a lot of workforce training, so resume writing, interviewing. The students do get professional headshots. We do mock interviews with the students where they come into the office, they sit in the lobby, and we call them back to the office, and exactly how it would be if you or I went to a job interview. So that whole process of having to regulate in the waiting room, having to introduce, make eye contact, we help them with every little piece of that and ensure that they're ready for that process. So we are a 2-year program, as I stated. The first year is very foundational. It's a lot of those skills, getting used to college life, navigating campus, learning how to have positive and good rapport with everyone on campus. learning what do they do on their lunch? Where do I go? Where do I sit? Do I like the cafe over here? Do I like the McDonald's across the street? Things like that. Schedule, really getting used to homework and academics. Then the second year, they go into those two areas, either hospitality or culinary. And at that time, they're in inclusive courses with other Miami-Dade College students who are enrolled in hospitality and culinary courses. So that's super mutually beneficial for our students and for Miami-Dade students at large because everyone learns how to work with one another, right? So the students from Star Academy learn how to work with people outside of their cohort, and the Miami-Dade students learn how to work with people with intellectual disabilities in a work setting. So like I said, we are on a scholarship and the students are eligible for those scholarships. We do ask all the students to complete the financial aid process, but there is that scholarship for the students. This is a little sample of what the academic schedule looks like for our students. So year one, fall is when they enter. And as you can see, these are college classes with college codes. The first fall in year one, SLS is a life skills course. There are two life skills courses and then a computer skills course. So those are really the foundational pieces in the beginning. And then over summer, we do a summer enrichment series that the year one students are doing now. We do a lot of really cool stuff over the summer session. So we have guest speakers come in. We had a professor come in today and speak to the students about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? How do we communicate with others? How do we talk about ourselves? Things like that. And then we do things that are really fun. Like we take them to cooking classes and we ride the Metro Mover and we train them on, okay, there's 3 lines on the Metro Mover. Who knows which one we're taking today to get to Brickell City Center? And we all get on the Metro Mover together. And as we're going, we say, what stop are we on? So we really get them out in the community around us. And also we help kind of gauge what direction they'd like to go in. So those cooking classes over the summer help us get a good grasp on which students love being in the kitchen and which maybe aren't the best fit for culinary. And it helps the students get that idea. So the students can say, oh, I really thought I liked cooking, but after those classes, I didn't really like it as much as I thought. And we talk about that. So when we're at the cooking classes, we're like, what do you think? Hospitality or culinary? So it's a fun and exciting time, the summer enrichment series. Then at the end of summer, they choose their track and they go into their certificate courses. So fall of the second year, they go right into culinary or hospitality classes. And that's when the tutoring becomes not so in the first year, the tutor is very hands-on, attends class. The second year, the tutor more is on the shadows, helping the student on the sidelines, like tap me in when you need me. I'm here, I'll help you reinforce all of that. But the second year, we really like for the students to blossom in their chosen pathway. So these are the 2 tracks. Like I said, they are certificate programs and they're stackable. So within each track, they'll get 2 industry certificates. One sits under the other, if that makes sense. So in the spring, they'll finish in hospitality with rooms division specialist, which sits beneath the room division's operations. So once they finish, they'll have room division's operations. Same thing on culinary. Spring, they finish with chef apprentice. Then summer, they finish with culinary arts management operations. So these are all great skill building and also resume building so that once we do go look for internship and job placement, we have some competitive certifications on there. So this is a little bit about our academic supports. Like I said, we do have auxiliary aids and services. Star Academy is housed in the access department, like physically, we're in the same office as the access department. So the access department is the wonderful team at Miami-Dade College that supports students with disabilities who are not in specific programs, just a disability service office. So the students can access those services if needed. We do a lot of faculty training. We go into different departments, talk to them about what is it like to teach a student with disabilities. How do we assist you in learning more so that you can support the students? Like I said, we're big on supporting student and employer, teacher, whoever that is, professor, whoever that is. We want to ensure everyone feels supported and feels like they have the resources they need to do the best at whatever they're doing, whether that's teaching or being a student. There are reduced class sizes and embedded tutors. So during that first year, like I said, those tutors do attend classes. They help the students kind of get used to that college class vibe, help them stay on track, help them follow if there's group work or something like that. The embedded tutors really assist with that. And then also tech support. We have great tech support on campus, and they can utilize those services if need be. So these are our interns. These are the students that are exiting the program at the end of summer. And you can see the students in the chef hat and chef coat chose the culinary track, and the students in black polos are hospitality students. So we're very proud and excited for them and the just amazing changes that the students have made as far as independence and things like that. So it's really cool. So there's another program at the Kendall campus called KLA. It's the Kendall Learning Academy. And this is a program I just wanted to tell you guys about, just so you know, in case STAR doesn't sound like the right fit for whoever the loved one you're thinking about is, this may be an option. So KLA, like I said, is on our Kendall campus. So it's Miami-Dade College, but it's on our Kendall campus. And this is a cohort style academy, similar with support, mentoring, academic advisement, stuff like that. They also gain college credits at the end of this program, but they're more geared towards business intelligence, professional business, and a lot of digital stuff. So let me have a little note here.
It's data analytics.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome. I
They
got your
do a
back.
lot of, sorry, they do workforce training with the students. And there is a paid internship. So this is something to think about. Their contact information will be on the last slide. If you're interested, you can definitely reach out to them and they'll have some really good information for you, be able to answer your questions, stuff like that. So this is our information if you'd like to write it down. If you email that email address, me or my colleague answer, so you'll get a person on the other end of the email. And if you call us, we'll do our best to call you back. We are having an open house this weekend, June 6th, on campus. I can go ahead and pull up that invitation so everybody can take a screen grab or take a picture of it or something like that. I'll just stop sharing for a moment. And that's a really great opportunity for students and families to come get a better idea of what Star Academy is about. You can meet the staff, see the campus, learn more about the program, and ask us questions.
Teresa, let's also, I think it might be helpful to email it to Paulina.
Yes.
And so she can share it with her community as well. And I think we will host one maybe later on in the summer, a second one. But we don't have a date just yet. But when we do, we'll share that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all I have. If anybody has any questions while I'm pulling this up, I'll be happy to answer.